What's going on, guys? Um, Back at you guys with a quick little presentation. Uh, I just wanted to tell you guys, if I was a parent, and this is something that a parent should never do to their children. A parent should never lie to their children. That's one thing a parent should never do. Parents who lie to their children are wrong. I believe a parent should always be honest. You know, everything that my father told me in my life, I tell my son the same thing, because everything that my dad ever told me was real. As a parent, you should never lie to your children. And parents who lie to their children, they creating enemies. That's why you got some children who grow up to, have resentment towards their parents. One thing a parent should never do is lie to their kids. I would never lie to my children. I don't care how brutal the truth is. I don't care how ugly it is. One thing I would never do as a parent is lie to my kids. I would never lie to my children. I'll always keep it real, and I'll always be honest with them. I'm a firm believer that honesty is the best policy. I don't believe in telling lies and being deceitful. That's why I always have that's one of the reasons to why I have the utmost respect for my father. Because my dad, he's the one person in my life who's always been honest with me, my father. And that's a parent's job. It's a parent's job to be honest. Telling lies to people doesn't help them. It's never good to tell lies to folks. It's always good to be honest with people. I just feel that parents should always be honest with their kids. I don't believe in a parent being dishonest and lying. I don't believe in that. I feel if you're a parent, you need to be honest with your children. Because telling lies to folks, man, it just doesn't help a person. Like, I never understood why people like lying to people about things that's so obvious. Like, I could see lying about, I can't see lying about nothing. I always believe in being honest with people. I feel that honesty is the best policy, but I understand that we live in a world where people like lying. Some people like lies because it caters to their pathetic emotions. Just like when you go to church in religion, they tell you nothing but lies in church. But see, it's all to cater to your pathetic, worthless emotions. That's all church does, is cater to your worthless, pathetic emotions. That's why I got away from church, because I noticed in church, they tell you nothing but lies. It's all false hope and blowing smoke up your behind, something you don't need. That's why I backed away from religion, because that stuff hadn't done nothing for nobody. And it's crazy how you got people that go to church every week and it ain't done nothing for them. You keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. My father always told me that's the definition of insanity. See, the truth is the truth. Some people would say, dad, a father telling their son that women ain't gonna like him, that's wrong. How? You just have to look at the end result. Look at how your life turned out. You ain't got nobody. So at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. You just have to look at how your life turned out. People can say that, that person should have never told you what they told you. But look at how your life turned out. Look at your situation. See, you got some people, they just don't want to face reality. That's one of the reasons to why I got the utmost respect for my father, because the things that my father told me, my mother would have never told me those things, because she's a dishonest person. This is why parents need to be honest with their children. Parents don't need to lie to their kids because, see, lying to a person will make them grow up to despise you. It'll make them grow up to despise you, and it'll make them grow up to resent you. This is why you got certain children who resent their parents because their parents lied to them. Their parents misled them. It is your parents' job to guide you and to prepare you for the world. That is a parent's job. But you have some parents that lie to their children, and that is not right. It's never right to lie to anyone. It's always good to tell them the truth. But see, that's why I brought up religion, because in church, they tell you nothing but lies. Church is full of lies. That's why I backed away from church. That's why a lot of people backed away from the church, because church is full of lies. It tells you nothing but lies. That's all it is. Brainwashing you into having false hope. You know, I used to believe that I could go to church and meet a good woman. There ain't no good women in church. There are no good women in church. And the one thing that tripped me out is how women claim they choose men based on personality when they get pregnant by the worst type of men. That's the one thing that always blew me away about women. They get pregnant by the worst type of men. You choose the worst type of man to give a baby. Then you want to complain and become bitter when you're 30, 40 some years old. Maybe you should have made better choices. You know, this is the stuff that irritates me, is how women never take accountability for anything, and they lie so much. Women choose men based on looks. They don't choose men based on no personality. They don't. And I used to believe that crap, and I'm sure a lot of guys felt that women choose men based on personality when they have kids with the worst type of man. You know, you rather give a baby to a dude that ain't about nothing. You rather stay in toxic relationships. You rather stay in toxic marriages. See, women got the game totally misconstrued. You have kids with the worst type of men. Then when you're 30, 40 some years old, women say that all men are no good. Well, women are just shallow people. And they always lying about stuff. That's one thing I can't stand. Women love to lie. And I believe that's why women love the church. There are more women who go to church than men, because women like lies. They like it. Makes them feel good to lie. You know, and this is why fathers always need to be in the picture, because dads keep it real. They gonna tell you the truth. That's why I got the utmost respect for my dad. And the same things that my father told me, I tell my son that women wouldn't like him either if I was a father. I'd be like, you know, your mama only got with me because she saw that she could use me. But women are not gonna like you either. You know, I tell my son the same thing if I was a father, because I believe a parent should always be honest with their child. See, mothers, a lot of time, mothers are not honest with their children. You got a lot of mothers who lie to their kids, you know? And I just feel as a parent, lying to your children, that's one of the worst things you can do, is lie to your kids. I would never lie to my children, because you have to ask yourself this question: what are you gaining by telling a lie? What is it doing for you? A lie don't help nobody. So I'd rather just keep it real, you know? And one thing I had to understand about people who call you negative, people who say that you're negative, they don't like the truth. That's why they saying you negative. Because my mother always told me the things that my father was implanting in me growing up was negative. No, it ain't negative. You just have to look at your life. Look at how your life turned out. Look at your life. Because life is all about cause and effect. You have to look at how your life turned out. See, my dad, he was just honest. I mean, at the end of the day, people got to look at their life and how their life turned out. And if you're a person who's been catching a lot of L's in life, things haven't been good for you, I mean, that ought to tell you something. That ought to tell you that, Evidently, you was just one of them people that was chosen to go through hell, you know? And this is a real sermon this morning that I felt I needed to give. Parents need to always be honest with their children. I don't believe in telling lies to folks. I don't believe in being deceptive. I don't believe in any of these things. It's always good to keep it real with people. It's never good to tell a lie. This is why fathers always need to be in the picture, because one thing I notice about dads are honest. Mothers, a lot of times when it comes to children, they lie to their kids. This is why fathers need to be in the picture, you know? Anybody that lied to you, one thing I had to learn and understand, anyone who lies to you don't love you and they don't care nothing about you. It could be your own parent. That's why I don't feel bad about any of the things that my father ever told me. He was just keeping it real. He was just being honest. Because some people would say, a lot of the things that your father told you was negative. No, it ain't negative. You just have to look at the end result. Like I always say, people got to look at how their life turned out. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Just give this quick little sermon. Any parent that lies to their children don't love them. And if I was a parent, one thing I would never do is lie to my children. I would never lie to my kids if I was a parent. Any parent that lie to their children don't love their kids. This is why I always say some people should have never had children. See, you got a lot of mothers especially. They like to turn the children against the father. Shows how evil and cold-hearted they are. See, a man will always be real with their children. Mothers, they ain't real with their kids. That's why even though my father didn't raise me, I'll always have the utmost respect for my dad because he's always been honest. And I'm a firm believer, honesty is always the best policy. It's never good to lie. That explains why you have a lot of women that like the church, because church caters to your emotions. And all they do is spew a lot of lies and foolishness in church and false hope. I know. I grew up going to Creflo Dollar, so I can tell you all about it. But that's all I'm going to say for now. Parents should always be honest with their children. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.